child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and then he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time there.
got private dick. That's a sex machines on all the cheeks. You damn right.
Welcome to another live Radical Republicans show. Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you bad men out there, you badass fathers, and you dads. You dads, I'd rather say dads because anybody can be a father. It's Happy Dad's Day, right? Happy Dad's Day. So if you're a father, or if you're just a dad to a kid you might didn't father, hey, you're just as important. Happy Dad's Day to you too. Hopefully everyone had a good week. It's been a week, right? It's been a huge week of news, of things going on in the world. We had no King's Day. Pretty much turned out to be a flop in pretty much every place except Commie, California, and probably New York City. Maybe down in Austin, Texas, here a few, but not in Florida. Not in Florida. DeSantis said you can get ran over in Florida. You can get run over in Florida. Come down, you get in the street. We got the law. They can run your ass over, so don't do it. So don't do it. And then the sheriff down there. I'm gonna play that clip, man. I have to play that clip. But I got some clips queued up, about this the King's Day, and I guess one of the biggest stories. You know what? Hold on, before I get to that, I gotta give my shout outs, man. Shout outs everywhere. Love you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in. Lily B's over there. Got you on X. We got Carolyn on YouTube. Lisa on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for the Happy Father's Day. Susan over there on YouTube. We got Joseph Olson out of Houston, Texas, down there somewhere. Our big, beautiful MAGA emperor has no clothes. I know, Joe, we're going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about that, too. We have a lot. I mean, we have a lot. We got the Israel thing, the attack on Iran. When does offense becomes defense? And when does defense becomes offense, right? But we're going to get into that, So any questions you guys may have, you got some comments, just come on up. We were supposed to have Dr. Carole Lieberman today, but she had an family emergency with her daughter. I'm going to pray for her and her daughter. And definitely praying for all of the civilian casualty, all the civilians in Iran, all the civilians in Israel, because those are the ones getting caught in the middle, right? Those are the ones getting caught in the middle. So we got them over there, and we're going over here to my Getter chat, man. My Getter. Hey, guys, see you over there. Pure Blood. TBB is always in the house. Who else we got? Doobly is in the house. Hey, what's happening? See you over there. Let me see. And I saw, okay, Flex is in the house. Hello. Hello, Chief. Fellow, good evening, fellow Patriots and whatnot. He was saying hello, Chief and fellow Patriots. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, you guys like my song? What a great song, man! That is like one of my all-time. Every time I hear that on the radio, man, it reminds me of my dad. Right? It literally. And I think I become my dad. Right? Literally, my dad used to work all the time. I mean, he worked his ass off to get us out of the ghetto. No, my dad, we had time. We spent a lot of time together. He taught me to play baseball, football. I mean, he made sure that I was the dude that I needed to be. So. It wasn't quite like that, quite like the song, but it reminded me a lot of my dad. It reminds me a lot of me. I work a lot. I don't have kids in the house anymore, but when I was in the Navy, my kids were growing up. When I spent 27 years in the Navy, and so I can understand that not being there, sometimes. But with that, that song resonates, right? It resonates probably with a lot of guys, I'm sure. So. But like I said, I thank you to all you fathers out there, man. Without you guys, I mean, shit, we see what happens when kids don't have fathers. And it's a known fact. And it's not only, like I said, it's not only black kids. They talk about black kids without fathers. There's a lot of white kids without fathers too, y'all. They turn out to be some shitheads, too. Don't trip. Don't trip. I mean, but Get out of here. Clippers not available. Got that. So sorry for the little fiasco early this morning. Early in the show, the music wasn't playing, so I had a little technical difficulties. I was, of course, trying to do something different, but yeah, hopefully, we are supposed to have someone that's going to join the show tonight, though. If she can make it, I'll say if she can make it, she'll be joining the show. But we'll see. But it's not Dr. Carole Lieberman. It's not her. But we're still gonna have a good show. We still got a lot of stuff queued up. And first, and this is for you know what? Because I got a call, well, actually a text from one of the people that watch the show. They said, "Don't you have some like freeze dried food? Some stuff on your show that I can get?" Okay, so we're gonna start the show off with Prepper All Naturals, right? So, like I say, you never know what may happen in these uncertain times with food prices skyrocketing and supply chains under constant threat. I can't get my milk right now. My milk is not in my grocery store. It's not, but that's okay. I found some other milk that I drink. I only drink like, the grass-fed only cow stuff, whatever. But anyway, it's imperative to secure a reliable source of high-quality protein for you and your family. Prepper All Naturals, a veteran-owned company, offers premium freeze-dried beef products that ensure you're prepared for any situation. Their newest addition, freeze-dried ground beef, is fully cooked and lightly seasoned, making it a versatile staple for your emergency food supply. Somebody said these are like upgraded MREs, right? Yeah. Exactly. They're upgraded MREs, man. All right, so just add water, and in about 10 minutes, you'll have delicious, tender beef ready to incorporate into your favorite meals. You guys, anybody eat? I know we got some military guys out there that ate some MREs, but you normal people, the civilians that haven't, had a chance to or didn't serve. You guys ever eat an MRE? Well, this is what this is, right? This complements their existing line of freeze-dried steaks, including New York strip and ribeye, all sourced from 100% natural American beef. None of that China shit. None of that, what is it? What they call 3D printing beef and stuff that they're trying to do now. None of the Bill Gates shit, right? All right, so with this shelf life exceeding 10 years without refrigeration until opened, these products are ideal for long-term storage, ensuring you have access to nutritious protein when it's needed the most. Sometimes I can't talk right, but I know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Visit maverickbeef.com today and use code MBN for 25% off your order. Invest in your family's security and health with Prepper All Naturals freeze-dried beef products. Don't wait for the next crisis. Prepare now with quality you can trust. So there we go. Sponsor of today's show, and I might do another one later. I think I'm supposed to do 2 or something like that, but oh well. All right, so let's get started on the show here. So I want to start with the people that foment the most violence, right? The people that foment the most violence, and they're radicals. The radicals are turning on them, right? So what we're going to talk about first is this is the thing that happened in Minnesota with the lawmakers in Minnesota. They got shot. But I'm going to play a series of clips first, okay? And then we'll get to that, because I think that these people are causing the most problems in the United States. Of course, we're in the midst of a Bolshevik revolution. If you guys know anything about the revolutions and about the Bolsheviks and about the communists, right? And so we're in the middle of a Bolshevik communist revolution, whether you want to believe it or not. I said this months ago. If you watch the show where I read every single, and I might even do that tonight, right? If we have time. But I read the 45 communist goals that was read into I think it was 1965 congressional record. And what was it, out of the 45, like 38 we were already succumbed to, but yeah, man, this is unbelievable. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Israel. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about, just throw it in the chat, and I'll try to answer. But let's start with this.
Out on this because I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator. It's because he is. It's because he is. Oh. The governor's being mean, and the governor's speaking out on that. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. And again, I'll speak to my teacher colleagues in here. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully, to watch this bully and to stop it. And when it's a child, you talk to them and you tell them why bullying's wrong. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the shit out of him back. You push back. You make sure they know it's not there.
Say what Donald Trump has done is wrong.
This, to me, is such an abuse of authority. It is a violent act, and there can be no justification of seeing a senator forced to their knees, laid flat on the ground, their hands twisted behind their back, and being put into restraints. When you see a democratic nation having their executive begin to arrest mayors, begin to arrest judges, begin to arrest a United States senator who is simply asking for answers to their questions, to remove them from a room forcibly, to throw them to the ground, to put them in restraints. This is something that we should not tolerate. And by we, this is not Democrats and Republicans. This is we in this body. We have a constitutional obligation to provide oversight to the executive, a constitutional obligation to ask questions, to make inquiries, a constitutional obligation to check and balance the authority of the executive.
Alex, I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go and stand behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right?
Is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Put your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives.
The vast majority of protesters and demonstrators are peaceful.
What is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
They're saying that they have it under control.
Things are under control. Peaceful protests are taking place.
Calling the protests lawless, Los Angeles police said Saturday's demonstrations remained peaceful.
Most of the crowds, again, that I saw, that I spoke to, that I was interacting with, these are peaceful people that want to get their message across.
The vast majority of these actions have been peaceful, and that there are lots of folks just trying to be heard on the streets in and around L.A.
You have a number of, it appears, peaceful protesters. We didn't see any weapons or sticks or anything.
So far, everything here is peaceful.
Some peaceful demonstrators.
People are demonstrating, and there's a lot of peaceful demonstration, but there are people that are obviously...
Next step now.
I'm going out to
Lenox and to Paramount, Watts, and South Central where they were last night to see if ICE is back out there.
How about a message for the community?
The community is don't be intimidated. Don't be afraid. Do what we did in the civil rights movement. Protest peacefully. Get out. Make your voices heard. The more people we're able to engage, the more we can push back on them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Black people in LA, don't get in that mess. Please do not get in that mess what's going on in LA. Y'all stay in the house. Y'all get what y'all need to get and sit back and watch, okay? This is their turn. This is their turn to get their butt kicked out there.
Where the guns are. I want y'all to take pictures of these guns and let people know that they're in our city with guns, and I'm sure they have orders to shoot and kill. I don't know, but otherwise they wouldn't have guns.
One question, Representative Ms. Waters, if there's one statement that or a message that you can send to Donald Trump, what is that message here today?
My message to Donald Trump is you are a cruel human being, and that you are using the poorest people in the land, the most vulnerable people in the land, to promote your politics. You are wrong. We know what this is all about. We have people who are immigrants here who are trying to seek a better living, who have come from places where they have experienced this kind of thing that he's doing here today. People who work every day, people who are paying taxes, who are raising their families, who are supporting education. They should not be treated this way. They should be given an opportunity to tell their story, whom they are, and why they're here, and ask the United States to please do what the Constitution allows us to do, and that is give them consideration for having citizenship here.
Ms. Maxine Waters, thank you for those words. Another thing, do you find it coincidental that this is happening at this time of the year right now? Is there anything that you can correlate with the timeline that it's happening with right now alongside?
No, I think that the president has not been able to live up to the threat that he used during his campaign, where he was going to get millions of them out of here. And I think it's come to the point where he thinks he's got to show something. But also, his ridiculousness has taken over the armed services to celebrate his birthdays coming up. And people are saying, are you going to spend millions of dollars celebrating your birthday using the armed services to do it? And I think that adds to it. All of this is coming to the forefront now.
And Congresswoman, how should the city of LA and the state of California react to this? What's the smart play here?
All of the elected officials in this city should be on the street. The mayor should be on the street. The city council should be on the street. Everybody should be on the street. All of the state elected officials. All of us in Congress. We're supposed to be in Congress tomorrow, but I want you to know I'm trying to stop him from getting richer and richer on crypto. The more money he has, the more powerful he has, the more he will elect people. So we got a lot of work to do.
So bodies on the street, basically.
Bodies on the street. People on the street. Absolutely.
Ms. Waters, before we let you go, anything that you can say to anybody watching or the public that wants to come out here or just simply watching or wants to know anything that you want to tell them that they should do or shouldn't do?
Well, here's what I want to support. I want to support people having a voice. Peaceful protests are okay. They're all right. I want them to know what happened in the civil rights movement, where we got on the street, where we marched, where we fought, and we made the government change, and we got voting rights.
Peacefully.
And so people can protest peacefully. They should come out and they should have a voice, and they should not allow the intimidation to force them to do nothing. Do something.
Do something.
Something.
Do not let the intimidation force you to do nothing. Do something. Words from Congresswoman here, Maxine Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You heard it.
I can't believe these guns. Look at the guns. These young people didn't get into service to kill people like that. Exactly. Look at the gun. That is scary.
Yann Perrault from Le Monde.
Protests, by the way, they are not only about the unjust arrests of immigrants, otherwise known as our friends and neighbors who came to America in awe of hard work and our freedom. The protests and the bigger fear that has gripped America is a mad king who is attempting to silence those who dissent. He's terrorizing families, chasing farm workers through fields, going to day labor sites, turning over car washes. Nobody asked for this. And now, using our Constitution, he has to pay for this. Donald Trump is America's Hitler.
The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be defeated.
I will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
Hauser, and Tom has new information from multiple law enforcement sources about Belter's wife being detained today, Tom.
Yeah, I've been working the phones for several hours, as you know, trying to track this down while we were all covering the manhunt here in the Twin Cities this morning. Sources tonight tell me the case was also taking a turn about 90 minutes to the north near Onamia in Mille Lacs County. Multiple law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of what happened tell 5 Eyewitness News there was a traffic stop at a convenience store near Onamia. Between 10 and 11 a.m. this morning, law enforcement made a traffic stop involving a vehicle carrying several relatives of Vance Belter, including his wife. We have talked to an eyewitness who says about a dozen law enforcement squads converged on the vehicle and remained on the scene for 2 to 3 hours. We are also told by several of our sources the vehicle contained a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports. Now, to our knowledge, no one in that group has been arrested, just detained for questioning. It's also unclear why they were stopped, whether they were being tracked, or if it was a random traffic stop. I am told briefings about this incident are ongoing yet tonight, and we will continue to track more developments. And again, sources say Vance Belter's wife is among those detained for questioning. And I did have one source very late in the evening, just before the newscast, say that she was being tracked. So this was not a random traffic stop. They had an idea of where she was, and they were able to track her down. Again, we're still gathering more details, and we'll have much more coming up tomorrow.
Tom Hauser reporting.
And nobody knows where he is tonight?
No, he is still at large.
Okay.
Now, that was a lot, right? I think, and I played those clips back to back because you see the hate, you see the stirring up of the Democrats' base. Of course, they say peaceful protest, but get out there in their face. Maxine Waters, I know they have shoot to kill orders. Who got shot? If they had shoot to kill orders, all the motherfuckers would be dead because it would be over because they wouldn't even put up with the bullshit. Maxine, you might be dead if they had shoot to kill orders because they probably would have shot you in your mouth or something. You know, I mean, see, this is what they do. These are the modern day Bolsheviks. This is the Bolshevik revolution that I'm talking about. All of them, all of the Democrats, this is what they do. They foment fear, they foment violence, and a Minnesota lawmaker probably died because of that. Because she voted against her base. She voted against the Democrats' base on something that she felt was right. And she got murdered for it. She got murdered. Her and her husband got murdered for it. And another, I guess, senator got shot. It's not really clear. He didn't vote for the same bill. He may have voted for something else. But, you know, but here's the thing that I think about this. This is very strange, right? Why? I think it was a hit gone bad. They were going to blame on Donald Trump, on MAGA, right? Dressed in police, right? Police gear. Suppose, how did this guy get police gear? But we know he worked for who? Timmy Waltz. It's come out. This guy worked. I mean, Tim Waltz gave him a position, and his wife had a position. His wife had a position with Governor Timmy Tampon Walz. He should be investigated. Tim Walz should be investigated. You know, you got people on here, you know, saying, oh, you're crazy, you're fucked up, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. You make it make sense then. You make it make sense. Why is it that all the Democrats, everybody's getting killed, everybody getting shot? I mean, we have these crazy liberals or trans doing it. No MAGA, no Republican is out here doing this violence. You don't see the violence from Republicans like that. And they always go, with Jan 6, they didn't even have weapons on January 6th. This is they go back to, right? This is their go-to. Well, Jan 6 was an insurrection. Motherfucker, if Jan 6 was an insurrection, what do you call this? What do you call what's going on now? This is, and I'm gonna play something from Tim Cass. 2 years ago, a guy was on Joe Rogan, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna play that now. Okay, I'm gonna play that now, so we can move sort of in that direction. I just have to find a clip. I got so many clips, man. I just loaded. All right, so here we go.
Comedian Sam Tripoli predicted these immigration riots years ago on the Joe Rogan podcast. Listen to this.
We're in the Bolshevik war right now, bro. And right now what's coming up is all the pride stuff is going to be... Okay, so I had this woman come on my podcast. Her name's Mel K. She goes, I've been talking to some people in the intelligence, and they go, this gay pride stuff is going away. And the next thing you're going to see are immigration riots. This is going to be right around the next election. So hand to God, we do this episode. Next day, Starbucks is like, we're banning all the pride stuff. And now you start seeing they're putting little breadcrumbs out, man. Little breadcrumbs. Oh, I saw this one thing in Chicago. Oh yeah, illegal immigrants are upset about where they're staying. And these illegal immigrants who speak no English are holding up perfectly written English signs saying we're tired of how we're being treated.
2023. That was 2023. That guy was on Joe Rogan's show. So you guys know this is all a plan, right? I mean, if anybody watches this show, you don't even have to watch the show. You just got to be alive and have some, just a little bit of common sense. Just a little bit of common sense to know that this has been planned for years. This Bolshevik, this communist takeover of the United States. And you see other countries around the world. How does it start? With immigration. They let all of these immigrants into the country. Joe Biden, okay, so they say 10 million under Joe Biden, but I had JJ Carole on last week. We talked about it's like 50 million illegals, and they all have to go. They all have to go. I saw some people in Brazil got arrested. They got arrested for trying to come out and stage protests. No. You can't do that shit in other countries. No. They don't take that stuff, right? And you see down in Florida, right? I'm gonna play this. I mean, this is a badass clip. I really, well, first DeSantis, he led off. I'll play the DeSantis clip first. I mean, but this is how you have to be. This is how you stamp out Bolshevism. This is how you stamp out communism. This is how you stop these revolutions. You have to stamp them out hard and firm, right? So here's DeSantis first.
Also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida.
All right, boom. So that set the tone right there. That set the tone in Florida, for these No Kings rallies, right? They were canceling rallies in Florida, man. They were canceling rallies in Florida. And so that set the tone. And then this sheriff came. I don't know if you guys saw this. Some of you, I'm sure some of you saw it. But if you didn't, well, you get to see it here first on the Radical Republicans live show. But if I'm a protester, right, or if I'm a Bolshevik, and I see this, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm not hanging out in Florida. I'm not doing this shit. No, I'm not doing this shit in Florida. Let me go. I go to New York. I go to Texas. I go to Virginia. You know, I go to North Carolina. I think they had a big rally up in Asheville. You know, and, you know, we'll go and do some stupid shit there, but we're not gonna do this stupid shit in Florida.
I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
We'll kill you graveyard dead. That shit, he made that shit specific, right? We will notify your parents. Like a boss. Like a boss. That's how it should be done. Period. Period. Point blank. Done. Done. You didn't see shit happening in Florida, did you? Let me know if anybody saw anything happening in Florida. I know we got some people listening down in Florida, you know, and let me know. I didn't see anything going down in Florida. You saw some stuff going, you know, elsewhere, but this is how it has to be. You know, I saw in Las Vegas, they're not playing with these people in Las Vegas either. You know, I saw a clip. You know, we had law enforcement walking down the street, and there was a dude and a girl, you know, videotaping, and they said, "How you guys doing?" And she said, "Fine," or whatever, and you know, and the guy was like, "Dude, you honor your oath, and stop being a little bitch." Guy turned around and said, he's going to jail, and they rounded their asses up, put him in jail. Boom, like a boss. This is how you stamp it out. Yeah, you got the California dreamers out there. You know, you have all of the legislators out there. I mean, from the mayor, you got the Congress people, you got the governor. I mean, you got all these people that probably should be going to jail. Swalwell, you saw the clip on Swalwell. They are all fomenting this violence, right? And we know they're getting paid. They're getting paid from the CCP. They're getting paid from these NGOs. They need to find out where the money is and arrest all those people for treason. Just take them down to Gitmo, man. Just take them down to Gitmo. You know, and you know, like Joe also say, I mean, you know, as far as Maxine Waters, most of these, you got Maxine Waters, you got AOC, you have Bernie Sanders, you have all these people representing these districts. You know, these race baiters in these districts, and they don't, you know, they represent the ghetto, but they don't even live in the ghetto. They don't even live there. They don't even live in the district that they represent. I don't think you're supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that, right? You're not supposed to be able to do that. So this one guy, let me see if I can find this clip. This one guy, he was, you know, these guys that were throwing rocks at vehicles and shit. I guess this guy thought that he could do that shit. That was, I guess in California, wherever that was, right? So I guess this dude in Texas, must have thought he was in California. He came across the border, you know, illegally, didn't know where the hell he was, and he thought he was in California.
Missed. Tossed a rock and he fucking missed. Goofy ass. Oh, these motherfuckers gonna cause an accident right here. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I'm okay with that. Who's not okay with that? Who's not okay with that, right? I probably would have did the same thing. I know I would have. I know I would have. I would have done the same exact thing. Dude, really? You gonna throw a rock at my shit? Really? I'm coming to okay. Okay, the law of gross tonnage, motherfucker. We about to go in, right? We about to go in. You know, so Pensacola had no King's protest. There you go. There was no violence. All right. Stormies. Good to see you. I already said people. So I mean, so this is how this is how these people got to be treated, man. You know, I mean, this is the truth. You know, people were concerned about the Marines. I think the Marines finally hit the streets on Saturday, which I said they probably on Saturday because that's when they predicted the big, the really big stuff. But I mean, we had no protests here in Pensacola, no violence. They knew better. Oh yeah, Pensacola don't play it. I mean, they knew better. That's the thing. You have to set the parameters. You have to set the ROE. And for those that don't know what ROE is rules of engagement, right? DeSantis set the rules of engagement. That sheriff set the rules of engagement. And that's it. We're not waffling from that. If you throw something at us, we're going to notify your parents because we're going to shoot your graveyard dead. Period. That's it. End of discussion. End of discussion. If you spit on us, you're going to go to the hospital and get bit by a dog, most likely. End of discussion. I like how he said, you're going to go to the hospital and then to jail. Classic. Florida's not playing, man. You know, but this is how it should be, literally all of the nation. But you know, they only do the stupid shit in blue states, right? You know, they only do the stuff in blue states because, and then, you know, they can get away with it. They know they can get away with it, right? You know, and like I said, I'm fine with that dude getting run the fuck over. He lucky he got tossed and not like run over and dragged down the sidewalk. You know, he may have lived from that, you know, maybe a broken bone or something, you know, but damn, right? You out there throwing rocks at people, man? Come on. I mean, you just can't do that stuff, man. Lucky you probably didn't get shot on that too, you know? I mean, shit, I know some people would have hit him and then got out and shot the dude, you know? Okay, but this is what it all comes down to. You know, I'm going to finish up this illegal immigration stuff. We're going to get to something else, but this illegal immigration, but this illegal invasion, really, you know, it's what it is. You know, but this is why and I'm going to play something different between like black women and black men too. Okay, on this issue. But I'm going to play this first, and you know, and listen to what they're saying. Listen to what these people are saying. Okay, and then I'll play. I mean, then you'll understand why these liberals are here fighting so hard, and these Congress people and these actors, they're fighting so hard to keep these illegal people in our country. They're criminals. They're crying about being separated from families. Hell, if I had my kid in the car and I was driving and I'm driving drunk and I get a DUI, right? If that police calls my wife or whatever and she can't come get the kid, they're taking the kid to CPS and they're going to separate me because I'm going to jail. They're going to separate me and the kid. That's separation. At least with the illegals, right? You can take your kid with you. You ain't got to leave them. You don't have to be separated. They're not separating kids. You are deciding to leave your kid here because he's probably an anchor baby and got the citizenship. I really can't wait till that goes to the Supreme Court and they crush that, and they better. And if they don't, then every black person in fucking America should be up in arms. If you guys don't understand what I mean by that, go read the 13th and 14th Amendment and understand the times. But you can take your kids with you. You don't have to leave your kids here. You don't have to be separated. You are choosing to be separated from your child. Whereas under the scenario that I said, I don't have a choice. I can't take my kid to jail with me. I don't have a choice. I'm going to be separated from my kid. And if I am a single parent, that kid is going into the system with CPS. Totally separated. So you tell me who actually has it worse. Citizens actually have it worse, right? You know, we have it worse. But let me play a couple of clips here to people that may not know why they are fighting so hard for these illegals.
Help out real Americans, right?
I'm going to stop you right there. First off, if watching families being ripped apart does not appeal to your humanity, let me try and appeal to you financially, because these mass ICE deportations are bad for the economy. So while undocumented immigrants actually make up a really small portion of the overall workforce, they are overrepresented in jobs that you do not want. Things that have little benefits, long hours, backbreaking work with no pay. For example, about 42% of the agricultural workforce, 23% of the construction workforce are undocumented. And let's be real, these are self-reported numbers. So those.
And I'm going to stop right there. Hold on. I didn't mean to take up the screen, but I'm going to just hold it right there, right? They're paid under the table, chick. These people are paid under the table. It's cheap slave labor. This is why 23% or whatever she was saying. It's slave labor. And they're paid under the table. And they send that money where? Right out of the country. This is why they put like a 15% on remittances to Mexico. And she lost her mind. The president of Mexico lost her mind. 15% remittances. That's billions of dollars. These people get paid. The ones that's here illegal and still have families outside of the United States. And they go to Western Union. Western Union should get hit. But, now, they're doing a 15% remittance fee, tax, tariff, whatever you want to call it, on the money that's being sent outside of this country, because billions of dollars get sent outside of this country. This money does not circulate back to our neighborhoods. This is why the illegals is bad for the economy. These illegals that get paid on the table is actually bad for the economy, because they send that money back home and it does not circulate. And when dollars don't circulate through communities, those communities end up like LA. They end up like California. Right? The money has to circulate through the community at least 10 times for the community to profit on it, to be able to get better services, to be able to do better overall as a community. It has to circulate like 10 times through the community. And when you take that money and you send it outside of the United States, it's not circulating. So you see the blight in the communities. And this is due to illegals. They're paying, they're bringing down the normal wages. Pay Americans what they're worth, right? Pay Americans what they were. Americans would do those jobs. And most of the agriculture shit is done by machines now anyway. So let's just stop the bullshit, right? Most of the agriculture and all that shit is picked by machines. Machines do that, right? But on the construction sites, you're bringing down the wages, and that hurts the middle class in the United States. That hurt, the inner city, most likely those are the people that are probably doing the construction jobs, and things like that, right? It's hurting those communities because they can't bring in the money, they can't find the jobs because these people would do it for less. So, this woman, and I don't, was she Asian or something? And not to pick on Asians, whatever, but she's full of shit, totally full of shit. But anyway, let's play.
Short of it all is that the food that you eat and the home that you live in was probably brought to you by someone who is an immigrant. The Made in America for Americans tagline, yeah, it's actually made by immigrants. Not only are these mass ICE deportations going to result in a tax revenue loss of over $1 trillion every single year.
And that's bullshit. They don't pay taxes. If you're getting paid under the table, yeah, they say, oh, they got the ITN numbers and they pay taxes, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. You don't pay the amount of taxes that Americans pay. And if you're getting paid under the table, you're not getting taxed on that money, and that money leaves and goes right outside the United States. So, and people actually listen to this bullshit.
Get ready to wait longer at your favorite neighborhood restaurant.
I haven't had to wait not one minute. Get the fuck. When I do go to Walmart, I got a Walmart down the street. So yeah, I go to Walmart. Okay. Target, I don't go to Target, but I go to Winco. Okay, I use grocery store, but Walmart is walking distance, right? We got a little neighborhood Walmart, whatever. So I go there for when I really need to get stuff, or the big Walmart is down the street. But ever since Donald Trump has been back in office, and ever since he's put ICE on the street, I haven't had to wait in line. I haven't had to wait in line. I don't even have to self-checkout. I don't self-checkout anyway because they don't pay me to do that shit. But if I wanted to, I just go to a line. There's actually cashiers and people standing there waiting for shit to do. Why? Because they're not illegals all over the fucking store. All over the fucking store. Go in there, shop, and get out. Go straight to a line. Right? Went to a restaurant. I haven't had to wait longer at a restaurant. Why? Because they're not fucking crowded. Have you guys had that? Hands up. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if you if you had to wait longer at a restaurant, right? You had to wait longer at a restaurant. No, the lines are shorter, B.
You're going to see a shortage in Uber and Lyft drivers, delivery order people, and you are going to see prices for meat, seafood, dairy, and produce all go up at your grocery.
That has nothing to do with illegals. That has nothing to do with illegals being in the country. And those jobs will be done. I mean, if you really want to do it right, all those jobs can be filled. Get people off welfare, man. Fill those jobs. Here's a job. Hey, you're a midnight clerk at freaking Walmart stacking boxes. If you want to eat, here's your job. Here's your job if you want to eat, right? Oh, you're just sitting at home doing nothing, sitting on your ass collecting food stamps. Okay, well, you know what? There's 2 jobs in your neighborhood. Well, here's a job for you. You might, hey, they need construction help. They were hiring construction workers. Heard there was 100 jobs available down in Tallahassee, Florida. When ICE went through there, hey, arrested 100 people. There were 100 jobs available for anybody who wanted them. And if you're on welfare and if you're on food stamps and you didn't go down to apply, your shit gets cut off. How about that? It's not hard. It's not hard. If you want to eat, your ass gonna work. Period. It's not hard. But this is part of the Bolshevik communist revolution. To have the immigrants, to have these illegals stand up waving flags, right? Hold up. I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna come back to this, B. Never mind. Let me finish her first. Then I'm gonna play a clip, and he hits it on the head. But anyway. Oh wow, what is that? Did I hit a? Okay.
Little benefits, long hours, backbreaking work with no pay. For example, about 42% of the agricultural workforce, 23% of the construction workforce are undocumented. And let's be real, these are self-reported numbers, so those are probably light. But the short of it all is that the food that you eat and the home that you live in was probably brought to you by someone who is an immigrant. The Made in America for Americans tagline, yeah, it's actually made by immigrants. Not only are these mass ICE deportations going to result in a tax revenue loss of over $1 trillion every single year, get ready to wait longer at your favorite neighborhood restaurant. You're going to see a shortage in Uber and Lyft drivers, delivery order people, and you are going to see prices for meat, seafood, dairy, and produce all go up at your grocery store.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump! Fascism! Let our people free! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente!
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers! If you have a fucking blower, bring it out! Push them back! We will not do 1992 again with your fucking tanks! I was 12 then! I'm 44 now! I will die for my kids, and all of these young people are here are my fucking kids because I'm an LA native mom. These are my fucking children you're fighting. You make your best. If you can hear me, expect me in your office on Monday for attacking my children.
If you could say something to Donald Trump right now, what would you say?
Donald Trump, you can suck my left nut. You can get out of my fucking drawer. You're just Macca's on my high.
Hold up. These people are so confused. She said that these are my kids. I'm their mother. I'm a mom, right? But Donald Trump can suck her left nut. What is wrong with these people, man? What is wrong with these people? This is what we have to deal with. These people are insane. These people are insane, right? These are my children. I'm their mother. You can suck my left nut. Bring back insane asylums, please. A lot of these people need to be actually, a lot of these people really need to be out of the freaking country and put in insane asylums back in their own country. But we do have some Americans that need to go in insane asylums too. But man,
You're going to give me the time of day, and because Claudia Scheinbaum make you look like a loser.
Sometimes you just can't help but laugh, right? Sometimes you can't just help but laugh. But this is a guy here. Here's my man right here. He puts it all into perspective.
I support the protests that are going on in LA.
Help out.
Sorry about that.
Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted, I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the US government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash. Your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 fucking Jordans, screaming about injustice, in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the fucking country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a fucking Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own shit, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep fucking going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the fucking balls to move to. And shitting on the system that literally gives you the right to shit on it. Someone asked me if I...
Boom. That's it. Enough said, right? Boom. My man, nail on the head. These people will not go back. They won't do that shit in their countries. They will not do that shit in their countries because you know what? If they do that shit in other countries, right? Let me see if I can find that. But if they do that shit in other countries, I don't think I have it. But no, I don't have it. Okay, but these I'm gonna play these last two clips, then we'll move away from this shit. But I can talk about this stupid shit all night, okay? All right, so here's the final two reasons right here. I mean, these are the main reasons why they're out here fighting, other than the Bolshevik revolution. But these Karens, these white liberals, and these dumb black folk that out here, I mean, well, black folk are actually sitting down a little bit. You know, the black women, no, they're sitting down. Thank you very much. Stay seated. Thank you very much. Just stay seated. Stay the fuck out of this. Sit this one out like y'all been doing. Thank you very much. Just sit it out. Just sit it out. And your reasons are a little different than black men's reasons. But black men understand, you know, hey man, this shit ain't good for the country. This shit ain't good for black people. Black women be on this. You guys didn't help us elect Kamala Harris bullshit, so we sitting out. Whatever your reason is, please stay sitting on the sideline. Thank you very much. But here we go.
So I'm in my beautiful city, LA, and I have friends texting me like all morning. My gardener didn't show up. My housekeeper didn't show up. My farmer's market was closed. Everyone's scared. Well, this is not going to just happen in LA. And you 1%ers that only voted for Trump because of money? Guess what? You're going to have to do your own dishes or clean your own house or mow your own lawn and that wonderful produce, the organic produce you get for your brunches? All gone. Yeah, you're going to actually have to do some work around your house. These people are important.
Avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here. I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses.
Not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses. There you go. You're not going. You're not gonna have anybody to cook your dinner, to cook your food. You're not gonna have your maid. You're not gonna have your pool guy. You're not gonna have the person that cuts the grass. I cut my own motherfucking grass. I cook my own food. I'm sure a lot of people do, but you're not gonna have the farmers markets. You're not gonna have people. You're not gonna have these people are important, and you're not gonna have people to wipe your ass. They say the quiet part out loud. Some of them just tell the truth. Hey, fucking, I'm not. My maid didn't show up today. What the fuck? I gotta clean my own house. The cook didn't show up. I actually got to cook for my kids. Are you kidding me? I actually got to go and mow my own grass. What? I got to wipe my own ass today. Are you what? Man. Oh my gosh, these people are insane. These people are insane. All right, second half of the show, right? Here we go. Who's my sponsor? Second half of the show. All right, let's pick one. Supermassive Black Coffee. Are you tired of the same old corporate coffee, diluted and devoid of character? It's time to break free from the chains of mediocrity with Supermassive Black Coffee. Crafted from 100% organic beans, this coffee is fire roasted in a Victorian era roaster, a relic from an age when true craftsmanship thrived. This unique process allows the flames to caress each bean, unlocking bold, rich flavors with dark chocolate undertones and a smooth, smoky finish. In a time of soaring coffee prices, and supply chain disruptions, Supermassive Black Coffee stands as a beacon of quality and resilience. While others compromise, this brand remains steadfast, delivering a brew that defies convention and invites coffee lovers to enjoy the depths of flavor and mystique. Join the rebellion against the mundane. Visit supermassiveblackcoffee.com. One word, supermassiveblackcoffee.com, and use code MBN for 20% off your order. Embrace the conspiracy, sip the mystery. There we go. Okay, so we're going to shift gears. Let me check the chats, man. I mean, I'm monitoring like 7 chat rooms. Okay, yeah, let me see. I like food over there. See, let's go. Never take it back. Read chat. Hey, all right, guys, what's happening? I see you over there on, what is this? America Happens. America Happens channel. See you guys. I like food over there in VO Dame or something like that. If I screwed up that, I apologize. So, I'm checking it out. Checking out the chats over there. Okay. And Jackie, I read that one for you. That was for Jackie, the first sponsor of the show, Preppers All Natural. That was for Jackie. Hey, Jackie, thank you. I see you over there. Jackie say, nope, no waiting. An American fixes our house. We don't need a leaf blower with that shit. Feel bad for the kids. Facts, yeah, definitely. They sound like kings, right? They talk about no kings. They want to sound like kings and queens. These representatives, they sound like kings and queens, right? But hey, Jackie, glad you could join the show tonight and everything. And you mean I could have someone wipe my ass? That's what Pure Blood said. Hey, obviously, hey, she said it. And she's like, I'm gonna be a little blunt here. We're not gonna have anybody to wipe our asses. Well, we need the girls here, Joe. Hey, I'm trying to get them here, man. The girls, they be busy, yo. The girls, I'm gonna have the girls here one night. We're gonna do a ladies' night. My brother's keeper. I'm trying to round them up and get them here all at the same time. And you know how hard it is to get a group of women together on a Sunday night, bro? Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got it once, man. Shit, I think that might be all we get because, they all do their own shows. Travion's doing her thing. You got Letitia's doing her show on Rumble. You got Karen. Karen's all over X, man. She like blows up X like 4 or 5 times a day. So she's doing her thing on X, and you got Laverne doing her show on Thursday. So, everybody doing their thing, man, which is good, So which is a really, really good thing. But I'm definitely trying to get them back. I am. So we're gonna have a ladies' night. I just don't know when, right? Because Matter of fact, Travion was gonna come. Was it last week? I think she ran a marathon. She was in a marathon last week. And she survived. I talked to her, so I know church. That would be great. I know church girls. Yeah, right. they probably do all go to church too. You probably would know when you get them on the mic. When you get my girls on the mic, but shout out to all my girls out there. So doing the damn thing on their shows and stuff. So, but you guys just got to deal with me. You just have to deal with me. Lisa says I wash my own clothes, cut my own grass, and people can't survive the real war. No, they can't. She was racist, man. That was Vermont. That was a congresswoman. That was Congresswoman Violent, I think her name was, in Vermont. Congresswoman that said that. That was at a freaking town hall or something. She said that shit. Congresswoman said that. She doesn't have many Hispanic constituents, right? But obviously she looked out in the audience. She looked at the room. She read the room. For some reason, she didn't believe that someone was there videotaping her ass. And she looked in the room and saw probably all white people, all white liberals say, hey, I'm comfortable. These are my people. These are my people. And I'm going to be blunt. I'm going to tell you the truth. If we don't allow these people in this country, we don't keep them here, we're not going to have anybody to wipe our asses. And I'm going to be straight up blunt. That's what it was. That's what it was. She's a huge racist. A huge racist. Obviously. I've never heard as many conservative places. Like I said, most of my constituents when I ran for Congress were white, right? I've never heard anything like that come out of a conservative's mouth. Never. And these people want to fight for and they act like they want to care for these people. There's one lady, who's gonna cut our grass? Who's gonna cook our food? Who's gonna take our clothes to the who's gonna wash my clothes? Who's gonna take care of who's gonna do? I actually have to work. Oh my God. Seriously. Okay, so these next 45 minutes. All right, here we go. Here we go, Joe. Joe is on me, man. Joe is on me. He said, God damn it, let's get to the Israel shit, bro. Because this is serious. Here, I'm gonna play some clip. I gotta play a clip first. I got plenty of clips, man. But and let me say this. I have to always keep saying. I feel like I have to keep saying this because people always want to be like, if you're talking about Israel, if you're talking about the Israeli government, if you're talking about how Israel bought fucking Palestine from the British, with the Balfour Declaration, if you talk about how, Israel, the government of Israel created Hamas, they propped up Hamas against the pillow. I mean, if you talk about this stuff, people think, oh, you're anti-Semitic, you're against all Jewish people. No, I'm not, man. But, and this is the last time I'm going to say this shit, really, right? Because I have a very, very good friend that was in the IDF. There was an Israeli IDF soldier that love her to death. She loves me, and we are cool. We are cool. And she tells me I get a lot of this shit from her, to be honest. I get a lot, not the history stuff, but a lot of what's going on in Israel right now. Yes, October 7th was a false flag. Yes, the IDF and the Israeli government allowed that to happen. Yes, they did. That's straight from people in the IDF through her. She fed me that information. Yes, that happened. Yes, the Hannibal directive is real. Yes, the Samson option is real. If Israel is going to feel like they're going to get annihilated, they're going to nuke the world. The Samson option is real. Right? But there was no way in hell. I mean, because you watch all of these news, right? Watch these newscasts now, right? Israel's Iron Dome, and Israel has the best intelligence, and Israel has the best this and the best that. I mean, it's beyond reproach. Their intelligence is beyond reproach. They're able to hit tactically and take out commanders and take out this and take out that. because they have the best intelligence in the world and they are just I mean, it's sickening. Okay, motherfuckers, if that's the case, and if they're the best, how the hell did they let October 7th happen for 8 hours before they responded? And these motherfuckers, they can never answer that question. They can't answer that question. They won't even touch that question when they come, oh, you're this, you're that, you're just against Israel. Okay, motherfucker, tell me if they're the best, they got the best shit, and they got this, and they got that. And I've heard the security systems they have their security systems. Listen to me when I tell you this, and this is straight from my friend that was an IDF soldier. And if you've never been to Israel, you don't know if you never looked it up. I mean, it's just sort of secret. But their security systems on their fence, they have automatic like guns on their fence, and they're so sensitive. Birds get fucked up. If a bird lands on a fence, it gets shot. That's how sensitive this shit is. And you're gonna tell me that on October 7th, these Arabs or whoever the fuck flew, how did they get past the Iron Dome and not get shot on fucking, they had them flying in on parachutes and shit or guided fucking whatever? You see that shit? How did they get past the domes without getting shot, right? How did they get, they come and then they cut the fences. How did they cut the fences with all their security where birds get shot if they land on it? Oh, they didn't know. No, they did know. And it's in people, I mean, it's already been out that they know. They allowed this shit to just fucking admit it. Just fucking admit it that was a false flag. They let it happen, and they allowed it to happen to do what they're doing in Gaza and Palestine right now. Change my mind on that. Give me something that would change my mind. Give me something that they didn't kill their own people in accordance with the Hannibal Directive to make it look like that the people got killed by Hamas or whatever the fuck. And how is it? And I ask this question: how is it that you can be so good at taking out Iranian, their top commanders or whatever, and be so precise and but you can't fucking get rid of Hamas? But you got pagers blowing up motherfuckers in Yemen. You got pagers blowing people up. I mean, and you can't get rid of Hamas. Why? Do you people that support this bullshit that is to do you really ask yourself these questions? I know you don't. And then when I ask the questions, I get called all type of names and whatnot, and you say some shit and block me or whatever, but you say some shit, that I'm anti. No, motherfucker, ask the questions. How are you blowing up people with pagers in Yemen, but you can't get rid of Hamas and they're in your own fucking backyard in Gaza? And you're blowing up schools, you're blowing up apartment buildings and hospitals because you claim they're underground and you still can't kill them. Why is that? Here's the reason. Hamas is on the fucking payroll, and they always have been. That's their brown shirts. That's the Israeli IDF in Benjamin Malachowski. His name not even fucking Netanyahu. He changed it to make it sound like more Eastern. He's a fucking Polish dude from Europe. It's Malachowski. That's his last fucking name. Let's just be straight up, man. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't care, but answer the fucking question. You can't. So now let's go to Iran. Right? Let's go to Iran. Let's go back to the way back machine, because they've been after Iran. Iran has been weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon since 1992, probably before that. I'll let BB tell you.
The Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv has reported Israel's former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly said the September 11th attacks have been good for Israel. Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."
Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq.
Stop it right there. What did he say? When is this? Something 12th, look like September 12th, 2002 or something, probably a year after. Now, what did he say? Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that at all? There, let me rewind it just a little bit, just to see what he's talking about, right?
I'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. What is the best place to proceed? It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? It's not a question of whether you'd like to see a regime change in Iran, but how to achieve it.
How to achieve it? How do you achieve
The
it like
Israeli-
that? How do you achieve it? You achieve it by false flags. That's how you achieve it. You achieve it by lying, by saying, hey, they're weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. I've been saying that since 1992. You can look at the article. I didn't pull up the article this time, but I can. It's not a problem. I think I did, but fucking I had some technical difficulties. But you keep telling people. How do you do it? You just keep telling people it's happening. Do we know? Do we actually know if it's true? We know what happened in USS Liberty in 1967. We got attacked for 3 hours, 34 killed, 171 wounded sailors, June 8th. We know that happened. We know that happened. And here's the thing that you know, but Iran is huge. Iran is big. Now you got China, you got North Korea, you got Russia, so you got all these countries coming to the aid of Iran. They say, hey, and Iran has a defense. They have a defense treaty with Russia. They have treaties with China. They got treaties with North Korea, right? Pakistan. And guess what? Guess what all those countries have, though? All those countries have nukes. Iran, do they really need a nuke? If they wanted a nuke, they could have had it. They was weeks away in 1992. Oh, and they're weeks away again. And then I heard people, oh, well, that's because Iran bombed them and set them back years. And they bombed them again and set them back years. If they wanted a fucking bomb, they could have been had it. They could have been had it. If they were weeks away in 1992, this is 2025. You don't think they could have had shit? And me, myself, personally, I honestly think they already got it. I honestly think they already got it. You know, I hear people, well, Israel, they say they're going to blow Israel off the face of the map and they're going to annihilate Israel, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I understand that. Israel has the right as a sovereign country to defend themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. They have the right. But doesn't Iran too? Doesn't Iran has the right to defend themselves as well? They have the right. They're a sovereign country. They have the right to exist. So is Iran on offense or defense right now? I would say Iran is on defense. They're protecting themselves from annihilation from Israel. So what do? They fight to the death or whatever. It's not our business. It should not be our business. Yeah, okay. They're our number one ally in the Middle East. Why do Israel keep pulling us in the bullshit? And I'm kind of pissed off at Trump too, because they came out after the first attack. Hey, my man, we didn't have nothing to do with it. Marco Rubio came up with that statement to Iran. We didn't have nothing to do with it, bro. That was Israel. They did that shit on their own. And then like the next morning, it was like, yeah, we actually sort of tricked their ass. We told them we were going to come to the table and we put them, we told them we were going to come, and, I gave them 60 days and this was the 61st. I tried to tell them they had 60 days and the 61st day. And I'm like, dude, who's going to fucking trust you now, man? Who's going to trust to come to the table? And here's the thing that probably none of you knew. Well, I'm not going to say none of you because Joe Olson is in the fucking room. But here, and this is what Joe said, our big, beautiful MAGA emperor has no clothes. He has no clothes right now because, and now they launched another attack and they said the same thing. Hey, well, we didn't have nothing to do with that attack last night, yo. We didn't have nothing. They did it on their own. Who's refueling Israel's jets, man? Who's refueling their jets? Who's helping shoot down missiles? Because the Iron Dome ain't shooting them all down. They've been hit a couple times. Not really any major casualties, I don't think. At least I haven't heard of any. But you got the commercials on. Help feed Israel. Israel, help. You see that shit now, right? You saw it, with Gaza. Gaza shooting spitballs at fucking Israel. They can't hit shit, the Palestinians or whatever, right? They're shooting in the dark or whatever. And now you got all these commercials popping up. Help feed Israel. And I'm not against the people of Israel. They're fucked too, because they got some dickhead prime minister that 74% of people don't even like. They wanted to get rid of him last election and probably didn't have a real election, probably stole that. But here's the thing. Iran, okay, when you are a country that wants to seek, right, nuclear power, it's not nuclear weapons, right, per se, but you want to be a nuclear powered country for energy, right? You join the IAEA or whatever, right? And you become part of the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, which means, right, your nuclear facilities, once you're a member, and Iran, how the fuck you want to say it, is a member of the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. They had to sign it. The United States, Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, all the, these countries. And Iran is part of that, which means your nuclear sites can get inspected. There's a good book out. Ritter, the guy that went over and said, target Iran. Years ago. Ritter, was John Ritter, I think his name is. He was the inspector, Iraqi, and they went over there and didn't find any, weapons of mass destruction over in Iraq, right? He has a show, but Iran is part of the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, which means they have to be inspected. They have to open up their nuclear facilities to be inspected. The United States has gone over there and inspected their nuclear. They were not weeks away. But do you know who has nuclear weapons that is not part of the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty? Because they won't let anybody come in. Ask JFK. They won't let anybody come and inspect Dimona or inspect their nuclear facilities. You know who? Guess who? Guess who's not part of it? Guess who won't sign the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty? Guess who? Guess who won't allow inspections on their nuclear sites? Guess who? Yeah, the country that you're not supposed to say their name or talk about them. Or you get called bad names. You'd be like, Israel is. Somebody says, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, my man, well, correct me. Correct me. If I don't know what I'm talking about, where's the lie? You just tell me. I'm cool. Oz, Storm, and Norman. Okay, first time and welcome to the show. I appreciate you. That's the first time I ever seen you in the house. Okay. IDF is the top. All right. Hey, I'm going to tell you what, my man. You want to come on the show? QQQ, ZZZ, Storm, and Norman 71. Would you like to come on the show and tell me how did October's, if IDF is the top, I guess that you mean the top security, right? I guess that's what you mean, right? Come on the show and tell me how they allowed October 7th to happen. You let me know if you want to come in and I'll put the link on the show and you can come up here right now and correct me. If I'm full of shit and I'm talking bullshit, you're welcome to come on the show and tell me. You're welcome. Matter of fact, here, you're over there on Getter. Here, I'm going to invite, if you want to come on the show, there's, I'm going to put the link in the chat, my man. Okay, I guess you're a guy. That's what it looks like. Now, there's the link. Come on the show. Come on the show and correct me. Come on the show and you tell me how the IDF, who's the top security agency in the fucking world, allowed October 7th to happen for 8 hours and they did nothing. You come on and tell me. You come on and tell me. And I'll wait. I'll wait for you. Okay, and I'll bring you right on the show. You come on and you tell me. Explain that to me. Explain it to me. So anyway, while I wait on what is it? Storm and Norman 71. Hey man, welcome to the show though, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you at least listening to the show. But if you can come on into, I'll shut up, man. I'll shut up. You tell me how this top security agency, the in the world got hit with October 7th for 8 hours and did nothing. I'll wait. I'm still waiting, by the way. It's easy. Just click the link, bro. All you gotta do is just click the link. Just click the link. You bring it in, click the link, and I'll wait. I mean, everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting. Here, y'all want to? Hold on. Here, I'm gonna play a little music. Come on, man. Okay. I'm waiting. I'll wait. Come on, man. Don't take that long, bro. Don't take that long, bro. And here's the thing: if anybody, I don't care who it is, man, you listening to the show, you want to dispute anything I say, you want to come up with, just let me know. I'll throw the link up in the chat. We can talk about it. We can talk about. I like to be corrected when I'm wrong. I like to be corrected when I'm wrong. Correct me. Anyway, I was saying, right? I mean, this is just total bullshit. So, one of the things that Iran is doing, they're meeting to leave the treaty, to get out of the treaty. They're meeting tomorrow to get out of the treaty and to block the Straits of Hormuz. And like Joe said earlier, the Straits of Hormuz carry 25% of the world oil. That means we're going to pay $10 a gallon for gas, y'all. We're going to pay $10 a gallon for gas. At least. And here's the thing. You know, people who rely, well, you know, I've heard some of the commentators say, well, Saudi Arabia is going to increase production. No, the fuck they're not. No, they're not. Why? Why would they increase production when gas is going to go $150, $160 a barrel and they're going to get rich? Why would they increase production? Right? Okay, they're partners with the United States. We just signed a deal. We got a trade deal. Right? We got a trade deal. Yeah, they might turn the spigot up a little bit. Man, they're all about making money. They're all about making money. They're going to get rich with us paying the price at the pump. Thank you very much to our great, wonderful ally in the Middle East. You know? At what point? At what point are you on offense? And what point are you on defense? And does any country in the Middle East have the right to defend themselves against an offensive against Israel? If Israel has the right to defend themselves against any offensive against any whatever faction in the Middle East, right? Do these other countries have the same right to do that against Israel or the United States for that matter? Shit. I mean, we really truthfully only pick on countries that don't have nukes. I mean, if Russia and China and Pakistan and North Korea are all backing Iran now, we didn't. Did you see that shit? Right? They all came into the defense of Iran. Iran's about to get out of the nuclear proliferation tree. They're about to block the Straits of Hormuz. After the second night of Israeli attacks on Iran, after saying, well, I gave them a chance and blah, 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 president, and people know, man, if you notice, you watch the show, I'm the biggest supporter of Donald Trump. I got a picture with him. I mean, fuck, man. He's the best president in my lifetime. But dude, you can't waffle on this shit, man. Then the next night, oh no, we didn't have shit to do with that now. Well, we may have helped him the first time. Yeah, I told Iran, and I'm telling them, man, the shit's gonna come harder, man. It's gonna be devastation. Hey, but we ain't had nothing to do with that second wave. That was all Israel, yo. And I'm a huge Donald Trump supporter, President Trump supporter. Did you guys see the parade yesterday? You guys see the 250th year of the Army? The parade was badass. And guess what? I mean, and here's what I like about Donald. I mean, he talks tough, I like it. He talks tough, and sometimes, whatever. But he said, if we get any protests around DC, basically, you're gonna have hell to pay. There was no protest around there. Zero protest. That was probably the most guarded city in the world, DC. But did you see the parade? Did you guys see that? Wasn't that wonderful? I loved every minute of it, man. I loved it. And that wasn't about, you got these people, Swallows Well and Maxine Waters and all these fucking Democrats, man, that, he did it for his birthday. It just happened. His birthday fell on that day. And guess what? If he did do it for his birthday, so fucking what? But it just happened to be the day of the 250th anniversary of the Army. And it was badass. Man, did you see those photos? Like 150 people getting sworn in. I've never been sworn in. I took what? Shit, 6, 7 fucking, oaths, reenlistment oaths, or whatever the case is, right? I've never had my oath, my enlistment oath read to me by the commander-in-chief, man. Do you know how badass that is for those soldiers? They had their reenlistment or their enlistment ceremony. I mean, by the oath administered by the commander-in-chief. How many people that served? How many? Probably just those 150 motherfuckers. Probably, right? How many people that served have actually had that happen? How many people? Right? Hey, Storm and Norman, I'm still waiting on you, buddy. But how many people has actually had that happen, man, to actually be sworn in by the commander-in-chief? Man, baseballs, what's up, man? I see you, my brother's keeper. I see you over there. Trump's a dream maker. Yes, sir. Glad you guys could tune in. But how many soldiers, how many people in the military have ever had that happen, man, to be able to get sworn in? We get sworn in by our commanding officer, our, division officer, or whoever you want to that's above you, or whatever. Like, I actually gave, somebody their oath of office. It's pretty funny. Their oath of enlistment. Read it. But how cool is that, man? How cool would that be, for you people maybe still serving? Or even for the guys retired, man, how cool would that have been for you retirees, you veterans like myself, to actually be sworn in by the commander-in-chief, right? But so they're meeting tomorrow. They're probably going to get out of the nuclear proliferation treaty, and you can't much. You pretty much can't blame them, right? I mean, because you look at it. You look at all the countries, right? Okay, let's look at Libya for example. Right? Okay, Gaddafi. That was the boogeyman. He's the Batman. The people in Libya loved Gaddafi. That was the richest country in Africa, the richest nation in Africa. They had everything. There was no homelessness. If you guys don't, really think Gaddafi was a bad guy, was he playing offense or defense with Reagan? Was he playing offense or defense? Yeah, did he really? I've heard rumors that, and it wasn't really Gaddafi that bombed that plane, right? The reason I was actually in the middle, I was actually on the ship, we actually bombed Gaddafi, right, with Reagan. But this man, his people loved him. There was no homelessness. There was, it was pristine. You go to the city, it was beautiful. Go and look at some before Libya pictures and then after, Obama and Clinton, right? Who really actually took out Libya. But he gave up his weapons of mass destruction. He had weapons of mass destruction. He said, okay, I'm cool, right? We're going to be partners. We're going to trade. Here's my weapons of mass destruction. I'm going to give them up. I'm not in this business anymore. You guys can come inspect. And they did. And we were friends with Gaddafi, man, everything. Then they murdered him and killed him after giving up his weapons of mass destruction. So who the fuck would want to give up their weapons of mass destruction or give up their nuclear weapons or give up, whatever they have in order to actually defend themselves from a country, unfortunately, like the United States and like Israel? Who the fuck would do that? If I'm a country, and I'm just going to be blatantly honest, motherfucker, you guys going to have to regime change. And this is what it's about. It's about regime change. Again, we did it in 1959 with Mossadegh, and we did it again in 1979. We did 2 regime changes in Iran because we knew they couldn't do shit about it. Go look it up. Hey, Oz, whatever the fuck your name is, you want to challenge me on that too? And now they want a regime change again after we put these motherfuckers in. We put our guy in 59, 53. 53, we put him in, right? And then in 79, we did it again. We put our dude in. And this is why the hostages, you guys don't understand this, man. I'm pretty much an expert on the Middle East. This is why the hostages got taken by Iran in 79 because of fucking Jimmy Carter. They did a coup in Iran and regime change. This is why they snatched those citizens. This is why the Iranian hostages, because we were doing a coup. We were doing a regime change. We were, the CIA was in Iran in 79. And this is what we did. That's why those hostages were taken. And like Carolyn just said, that's what's going to happen to U.S. citizens if we don't keep a close eye on 2A. Damn right. Right? But this is what happened in the Middle East. So are they playing offense and defense? You guys tell me, is Iran playing offense and defense? Right? What the fuck did we do to them? We didn't have a problem with Iran prior to 1953. And then we put in our guy. And then we felt, okay, well, he's doing too much for his own people and not enough for us. That's what it was, right? Look at General Noriega down in Panama. He was our dude, right? Look at Saddam Hussein over in Iraq. He was our dude against Iran in 1979. You guys realize that? The Iraq and Iran war, whose side we were on? We was on Saddam Hussein's. Oh, by the way, who gave Saddam Hussein the weapons of mass destruction to use against Iran? We did. So that's why we figured, hey, Saddam still has weapons of mass destruction. Because how do we know? Because we gave them to him in their war with Iran, because Saddam was our boy. and we got this jerk off over here want to tell me I'm wrong. Bitch, please. Bitch, please come on the show and let's talk about it. And don't just take my word for it. Go look this shit up. You can look it up. Joe Olson. Am I right or wrong, Joe? Joe is one of the smartest motherfuckers I know in the world, bro. Joe's been on the show a couple of times. Joe Olson is like, Joe, I'm gonna have to bring you. Joe, you want to come on the show? Are you able to come on the show right now, Joe? Are you able? I know you got some connectivity issues down in your lair, where you live, and you gotta go on the road to fucking get some reception. Joe lives in a bat cave, man. He don't have much reception. But Joe, you want to come on the show for a minute? Hey, put it in the chat, man, and I'll drop the link in there. You can come on the show. But if not, man, just put it in there. Joe, am I right or wrong, man? Correct me. Please. Please correct me. I want to be wrong at least fucking once. So I'm not on board with this attack on Iran. I don't believe they're weeks away from a nuclear weapon once again. You just can't make me believe that. Not after they've been weeks away since 1992. So I don't think we should get involved in that. I know, people say, well, Israel is our greatest ally. Israel is the great, how you have a friend, right? Hey, has anybody look, this is Israel. This is Israel to the United States. I'm gonna give you the best layout of who Israel is with the United States. Especially men, right? And girls, you ladies, you could probably relate to this too, right? But I know men. I know some of these men, right? In here, just tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong, men and ladies. If you had this, right? You tell me if I'm wrong. Jackie's over here. Regime change, yes. Nicholas Vyman on Rumble shared a video. BB leaks Israel deepest political secrets exposed. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so okay, so you guys tell me if I'm wrong, right? You ever had a friend growing up, right? You ever had a friend had the biggest fucking mouth, right? Had the biggest mouth and think they were the Billy Badass, and they would always start shit. In the group always end up in a fight, or you always end up in a fight because of this motherfucker that always ran his mouth and could never back it up himself. Would start so much shit, get everybody, and we end up fighting because of this. Man, will you keep your damn mouth shut? That's Israel to the United States. We always got to go fucking fight their fights for them because they start so much shit. People are going to hate me after tonight's show. They're gonna hate me. Like, this dude, man, nah, man, you fucking anti-Semitic. And I'm gonna explain to you one more time too about this anti-Semitic shit, right? That's just a psyop too, because check this out, right? A lot of those people that live in Israel now, they're not Semitic fucking people. They don't even have the DMA of Semites. You can look it up. They don't have it. They're not even Semitic people. They're Khazarian Ashkenazi Jews from Europe. They are not Semites. Okay. So you can't be anti-Semitic against people who are not Semitic in the first fucking place. The people that are Semitic are the people that, like the Palestinians, like the like the Jews that actually are from that region. The Sephardic Jews are Semitic, right? Arabs are Semitic. So you're talking about anti meaning being against, right? How can you be against something or someone that's not even that? It's not even that. So the brainwashing and the psychological play that you use on anti-Semitic. No, I'm not anti-Semitic because I love Semitic people. To be the real Semitic people, let's just be honest about it. So using the term anti-Semitic is not even correct. Not even correct. If you want to say anti-Ashkenazi, anti-Zacharian, Yeah, I'm not even anti-Jewish. I'm not even anti-Jewish. And most Semitic people are Hebrew. They're not even Jewish, they're Hebrew. Judaism didn't come in effect until the 8th or 9th century. It was Hebrew. And then you had this group, the Khazarians and the Ashkenazis, who part of they tried to make themselves part of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. And so they became, they started practicing Judaism in the 8th and 9th century, right? So they're not even fucking Hebrew. They're Jewish because of their Judaism. Oh, and by the way, here's another thing. What's your name over there? Oz, whatever the fuck. Hold on. I gotta find you. I gotta find you because I'm about to, here you go. Where you at? What's your name? I know you're still listening and you can still come on the show. Stormin' Norman 71, Stormin' Norman 71, right? Listen, I'm going to tell you a secret. Stormin' Norman. The Jews killed Jesus. Do you want to debate me on that too? You want to come on the show and tell me I'm lying too? Motherfucking trolls, man. They come up in your shit, then they just go away. They don't want to come on they never want to come on the show. I invite people on the show all the time. Come on the show, man. Come on the show. Talk your shit on the show. Uh-oh, Joe may be gone. Joe, did you leave the show, man? You lost reception in the back cave. but so that's what's happening in Iran. So we find out tomorrow if they leave the nuclear proliferation treaty. I would. I'll be like, fuck you guys, man. You guys not inspecting shit else. Fuck you. Go inspect Israel. Go and inspect Dimona. Make them sign the nuclear proliferation treaty. So I don't know what's going to happen. That's not our war. I don't want to see any of our guys or gals go fight another war for Israel that they fucking started, man. People, oh, Hamas started it October 7th. No, the fuck they didn't. Oh, you have they've been lobbing bombs from Lebanon. You got Hezbollah. Hezbollah started. Hezbollah's not even a big fucking deal. Oh, they're the arm of Iran, so they've been in their Iran is sponsored terrorism. Iran is the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world. You want to know who the biggest sponsors of terrorism in the world is and actually who started it? And actually who fits the bill for terrorism? You guys want to actually know the definition of terrorism? Here, I'm going to pull that up for you. Terrorism definition. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Terrorism is generally defined as the use of violence or the threat of violence to achieve political, ideological, or social objectives, often targeting civilians. However, there's no universally accepted definition, right? So then it says the use of violence or threat against civilians, the act of terrorizing or state of being terrorized, the practice of coercing governments to accede to political demands by committing violence on civilian targets. And also there's a definition that talks about regime change. Regime change. Wow. Terrorism to coerce a population of government. That's what it is. To coerce a population of government for regime change. The definition, terrorism, meaning, I'm going to go to Merriam. Let's look at that. Oh, okay. So now they want to talk. They actually got example sentences in here, and they're talking about Gaza and Hamas. Oh man, this is hilarious. So I'm looking at the legaldictionary.net. In its most basic definition, the term terrorism refers to any act that is perpetrated for the purpose of causing terror. There is no universal definition as to just what acts are considered terrorism, but most commonly considered to be action that causes fear or harm for a political, ideological, religious, or economic objective. There it is too. Or to coerce action for political purposes. I mean, that keeps popping up. That keeps popping up. Oh, here it is. Listen to this too, right? Okay, the FBI terrorism, according to U.S. law, specifically 18 U.S.C. Section 2331, which defines terrorism both domestic and international as any activity that is violent or dangerous to human life, which violates federal or state law and appears to be intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population. Of course, that's number one, scare the hell out of the population. Influence the policy of a government by intimidation or coercion. Affect the conduct of a government by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping. Assassination and kidnapping. Who was just assassinated? Who got assassinated over the past couple of days? I think where they say three of the top generals for Iran and some scientists. They targeted the civilian scientists. They targeted the civilian scientists so they couldn't make the bomb. They targeted civilians. Isn't that the definition of terrorism? So who are the terrorists? I'm just throwing that out there. I know I'm gonna get some blowback, but okay. Okay. Regime change. We haven't heard regime change yet before. Where did I hear that? Right? It's ideological, political, where did I hear that before? Regime change. They wanted that, Let's see. Did I hear this before?
The Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv has reported Israel's former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly said the September 11th attacks have been good for Israel. Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."
Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. What is the best place to proceed? It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? It's not a question of whether you'd like to see a regime change in Iran, but how to achieve it.
I got some people mad at me, man. It's two things you can't do. People get pissed off at you, and you just become the worst person in the world just for asking questions. It's two things you can't ask questions about, or you can't even talk about really. You're not supposed to say anything bad about them, and that's Israel and the Pope. Israel and the Pope, man. I had some more clips, but I think we're coming up on the end of the show. I'm gonna have to smack Suni. She didn't come in, but yeah. So I'm gonna end the show. I'm gonna end the show with this, with a little humor. Okay, I'm really gonna end the show with a little humor. And you guys be cool. Thank y'all for tuning in the show. 2 hours. This 2 hours went fast. I guess I rambled a little bit, but you guys have a great week. Be safe out there. We still got bullshit going on. Hey, man, we might be at the precipice of World War III. Hug your loved ones, the people that you're mad at. Tell them you're sorry. The day may not be promised. Tomorrow may not be promised. So, all the people in your life that you love, that you like, that you hate or whatever, just tell them, hey, man, let's forget all the bullshit. Because, hey, we are right there. If you guys don't understand what happened this week and what's going to continue to happen this week, And tomorrow's going to be big. So keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on what Iran does tomorrow. Okay. And if they start to shut down the Straits of Hormuz, because I was out there, I know how that is. I was on the USS Carl Vinson the last time where we had to escort tankers through the Straits of Hormuz the last time Iran was shutting down and attacking tankers in the Straits of Hormuz. And one of I think Israel blew up some fuel storage facilities or something in Iran. So look for that probably to take place. And I mean, it's not just going to be Iran this time. I think they're going to block the Straits of Hormuz. So just look at it and, pay attention to what's going on in the world. And like I said, don't take my word for it. You guys can look up everything I said, verify for yourself. And if I'm lying, come on the show and tell me why I'm lying. Tell me where I'm wrong. And not lying. Okay, let's just say, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Just come on the show. You're welcome to come on the show and tell me where I'm wrong at. But I'm gonna leave the show with a little humor. Don't do this. Don't do this, especially when you don't know what you're talking about. And then I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Radical Republicans live show, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here every Sunday night, unless I'm on vacation or something. But again, happy Father's Day. I wanted to do this on Father's Day to wish everybody happy Father's Day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
People think that I'm stupid. I love when people think that I'm stupid, because tell me when I'm at the mechanic shop and he talking about I need a Cadillac converter, but I drive a Jeep. Make it make sense. Think I'm stupid. Ladies, when y'all going down to the mechanic shops, take somebody with y'all. Your brother, your uncle, your daddy, your boyfriend, somebody. Stop going to these mechanic shops by yourselves, because they know we don't know anything about cars. So they trying to give us any type of services we don't even need. Outrageous prices. Because I don't understand. Make it make sense. A Cadillac converter. I don't even have a Cadillac. A Jeep converter, maybe. They think we stupid, ladies. Don't let these mechanics play in your face. And it be the shade tree ones all the way down to the dealerships. They all try to play in our faces. So next time, when I go get my car fixed, best believe I'm going to have somebody with me, because I'm not playing with these people today. I'm not playing with these people. They think they got me, but they ain't got me.
Going out this? I'm sorry. This is for those fathers out there. We talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes I'd listen outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I pray for her even more than me. I pray for her even more than me. I know I'm praying for much too much, but could you send back the only man she loved? I know you don't do it usually, but dear Lord, she's dying to dance with my father again. Every night I fall asleep, and this is all I ever dream.